Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. To those who have not subscribed, please subscribe. Today, we're chatting about Chippa versus Kaizer Chiefs and what I think about the game and what I think about what happened in the game. So this video may be a bit long, but number one, I wanna kick it off, guys. Like I'm even angry. I don't even know what to say. Number one, I will say, since Chiefs has played in the last 3 weeks, we have seen no goal. Uranga has come in, Ranga had no supply. Like, what is happening, guys? Last season, Jesus Zwane's defenders were making mistakes, but we had chances for days. Today, we had no chances, guys. I don't under how do we fix it? Today, it's not even a factor of saying we needed a striker coach. No, yes, we do need a striker coach, yes, but if the ball never gets to the strikers, then what must happen? The only player who had a chance, more better chances, is Umdu Shabalala. But I'll get to that. You know what? In this preview, I want to chat about like defense, midfield, attack, and obviously coaching. You know, a lot of you say maybe I complain, but guys, coaching is important. There are certain things that happened in this game that it's all down to coaching. Why I say coaching is because no matter how good a player is, right? When you keep training them how to do something, when they get tired, they will automatically do that thing. Or when they can't think of something to do, they'll automatically do that thing. Example, movement. If you're consistently teaching your players to move, they are moving without knowing. But if it's not your coaching to teach them movement and you're more teaching them to stay in a position, then what happens is that then it lacks movement. Then when another player gets the ball, the other player doesn't think. An example, I will make an example of what I'm saying. Every time the team had Chippa had the ball and was striking, the one player who was always recovering and moving, and the one player who was connecting defense and attack was Castillo. Castillo was finding the pockets. Castillo was running and closing down players. Castillo was everywhere. Castillo was trying to supply him do. Castillo was trying to do XYZ. Castillo was everywhere. Everywhere. It was like watching a more creative Blom at times, because that was what Castillo was doing. He was moving. He kept moving. Castillo, there were very few moments where he was not moving, but the people around him were not moving. The only one who was trying to work with Castillo was Shabalala. The rest were not moving. But anyway, guys, let me start with the defenders. Defense was solid. There was no issues with defense. Defense was solid. Uriv, when it comes to his more defensive duties, yeah, he was solid. When it comes to Titloko and Msimango, Utitloko and Msimango, blessings, guys. We are blessed in center back. Guys, you know how happy I am this season to see those twin towers. Like, even in situations where it was like, La Chippa is scoring. Last season, we would find Ngezana batitizela, Obongobo batitizela, etc., etc. But this season, they make decisions. They don't. The nice thing I like about Umsewang no Titlok, they make decisions. They don't wait for someone next to them to make the decision. They make the decision. They clear first, or they safety first, or they mark that man first. They don't have time to say I don't have to mark that guy because it's Shante's responsibility, or I don't have to mark that guy because it's fraud. If that guy is coming out, Utitloko and Msengmango, make sure they close him down. There was this, I want to just highlight how beautiful Msimango's marking is. There was this one moment where I think it was a free kick or a corner for Chiefs, and they kicked and the ball came out and Chippa was on the strike. And Umsimango came out first and he was like going to mark this guy. This guy had so many Chippa players. Umsimango ran to this guy and he stood there. That guy was Saba. Begatitizela, Achuluga. He didn't know what to do with Umsimango. Umsimango just stood there. Ati, uyapindot. Because aumrulila. And the guy ended up having to turn, and that's how it's a counter. You know, when it's a counter, you have enough players up front. But this guy, I forgot, I don't know who the Chippa player decided, Umsimango has blocked me. I can't do. And then when he did that, Chiefs players recovered. And that's, guys, I wanna just highlight Ditlokwe, Msimango. Yo, they are good, but I will say I'm gonna give you an example at the end when I say coaching, because these guys can't play every team and find themselves being the best players in every game. No, if these guys come out as the best players, etc., it means Guti something is not right. Meaning Guti midfield is not taking control. Meaning Guti striking force is not threatening enough. So I'm worried about the Sundowns game. Like the Sundowns game, I've accepted, Guti, we're going to lose that game. Like the Tlokwe and Singamo can be as good as they can be, but like if we can't score goals, then kuyafana. Like Sundowns can score one, kuphele kanjalo. But yeah, I'll get to the Sundowns part a bit later. Right back, Frosler doesn't give you much right back, but at least he's a better he's a defender. Like if a right back won't give you much going forward, at least he will defend. But like he did try going forward, but I don't know. Like the Frosler that played with Nukovic, where you could always find Nukovic, and the Frosler are now different, because that Frosler back then was finding Nukovic with proper passes, but this one is like a Frosler just kicks into an area and then expects something to happen. But with Nukovic, he was able to locate and stuff like that. But anyway, so Frostlight did his defensive duties. But yeah, I'll rate the players tomorrow. So stick around for the ratings tomorrow. But yeah, midfield, Matt, sometimes we give Umat a lot of like slack and we say Umat must do XYZ, Umat does untonton, but today he marked. Today Umat was marking, guys. If there's one thing I will say about Mark today, he was closing players down, he was marking, etc., etc. But obviously, we all know Mark's issue is that he does the right things defensively, but when it goes to attack, he's always making the wrong passes, or he's delayed, or whatever the case. But in terms of marking, he closed so many people down, and that was a good thing. I enjoyed watching that. So it was interesting to see. I don't know when else Tebe will get a chance, but it was interesting to see. Castillo is Kaizer Chiefs man of the match. In the previous videos, I was saying I want to see Castillo under pressure. And Castillo was the man of the match for Chiefs. Castillo's touches, Castillo finding players, Castillo doing X, Castillo doing Y. Castillo was doing everything on the field. He was defending like the last season. Let me make an example. Last season, guys, every time when attackers were attacking us, right? The defensive midfielders were always late, or when they join the defense, they stand and just still. And then Abo Martin Sitebo used to stand still. Then what happens is that these players would try something and they would find a way to score. But Castillo doesn't do that. Castillo recovers to mark. He doesn't recover to just make a number. So if that player has the ball, Castillo patrekas that. When someone patrekas that player to the point where that player runs into traffic. That is how Castillo operates. We are patreka straight. And then on top of that, he was dishing to Abomdu, he was dishing front passes, etc., etc. So what it feels like, guys, it feels like our defense and midfield is slowly starting to be more strong than it was last season. But we still need another defensive midfielder, I will say that, to change the game a bit. Yeah, just someone who's more sure, because Small Zwane is good, Samkelo Zwane is good, but in a game like this where we needed we needed someone who understood his defensive duties. Samke Zwane was going to struggle because, yeah, his defense is not that good. But yeah, Ungobo started a bit well, but he faded. And this is let me actually get to this point now, because I don't want to even go too far. I will want to say this. Coaching in Kaizer Chiefs is going to be the thing that defeats us. And I know a lot of you are going to say we started well, but guys, today it was clear when they made this first substitution to bring in, I think they were trying to bring in, was it Ashley? I'm trying to remember. But when they brought in the first substitute, yes, I think it was Ashley for room 2. The first thing I thought was, that is the wrong substitution. Umdu was not meant to go. Umdu was not doing the right things, but he was making the right runs. And he was getting the ball in dangerous areas. He was just, him shooting, all those kind of things were not right, but he was doing more on the left than Usaile was doing on the right. So my thing is, when they substituted Umdu, I was like, first mistake. This is something I'm going to highlight for the Amakhosi network. Good, this was first mistake. Second mistake, when they were substituting Umdu, they were meant to bring in another player. They were not meant to wait. Umdu, they were meant to number one. So these are the substitutions I was going to make. Usaile was starting to not show any impact on the right. Usaile was meant to go. And you can blame Uranga all he wants, but he didn't have supply. No one was supplying. So it's like putting Cristiano on the field. He doesn't have supply. Then you're like, it's Cristiano, why we don't have goals. But Cristiano is like, but guys, where are you feeding me the balls? Like, so feed me, I'm a baller to score. If you don't feed me, then you're fine, I won't be in Cristiano. And that's what happened with Uranga. Uranga had no... He did. I can't even remember a time where he touched the ball in the because there was no creativity. There was no one finding Uranga and stuff like that. So it was very. It was. I feel sorry for Uranga. He's gonna get bashed for no reason. But yeah, that's one thing I will say about that. But yeah, they were meant to substitute. When the substitution that were meant to happen was meant to be Saile and Unkosimpile Ngcobo. Unkosimpile Ngcobo was no longer doing anything in the game. The game was passing Unkosimpile Ngcobo. It was passing him. And this happened towards the end of the first half. Towards the end of the first half, the game was just passing Ngcobo. Ngcobo just disappeared. I don't even know how to explain it. But like, Ngcobo disappeared. And let me say this, I don't understand what happened to Ngcobo. Ngcobo has gotten a tendency of passing backwards and all of this thing, and it's not who he is. Because every time there was a move going forward, Ngcobo used to block it, was blocking it because he either wanted to do an extra turn or he wanted to pass backwards, etc. And then he would close the move. And the reason why I say this, if you watch how Mdantsane played when he entered, that was when Chiefs started playing. We started playing more. We started moving more because Mdantsane was there. Then he was moving. He was moving between the lines and he was joining the attack and the defense. He was moving, and Ngcobo was struggling to even get close to Uranga because as a number 10, guys, let's be honest, if you are playing the number 10 position, you can't struggle to get close to the player. So like to your striker, you have to find a way. So me, how I would have liked my second half to start is that I would have liked to have substitute Sahile and substitute Ngcobo. Then on the right, you're going to play Umdu Shabalala, which he was doing in preseason and he was doing okay. And then on the left, you would have Ashley. In the middle, striker, you would have Ranga. Maybe they substituted Ranga because he's not in full fitness. That's fair. If it was that, then it's fine. Then in the middle, you have Mdantsane. If that was the case, what I would have done, if Uranga Vele was substituted, but those were the substitutions I would have made at 55 minutes to keep Uranga on for those players. When you then substitute Uranga, what you then do is that you substitute Uranga for Upotsane because Potsane also had a good game. You substitute Uranga for Potsane, and when you do that, you shift Upotsane to the right of the mid, and then you shift Umdu to the left, and then you make Ashley play more down the middle. That means that we have faster players now on the field and players who can play a quick 1-2. That's what I feel should have happened. But the substitutions were bad, guys. I didn't like the substitutions that Mtsike made. The substitutions they made, they only the substitutions that came on in 80th minute, things started looking like we were playing. But before 80th minute, Chippa was taking advantage of the players who were still on the field and had to be substituted, like Usaile and Ngcobo. Those players were killing us in defense. They were killing us in attack because they were not defending and they were not doing anything in attack. Because Usaile, I always say this, Usaile needs proper coaching. When I say proper coaching, I'll say this. People don't. If people watch soccer back in the days, about Richard Henyekani when they were giving AX like 6-1 and everything. Richard Henyekani was not umuntu dribulayo. Not to say he didn't know how to do it, but he didn't do into dribble. Richard Henyekani broke lines. And what if you wanna see a player that resembles what Richard Henyekani was doing is Dupree. Dupree always bends his runs goals. Then they find him, bends his runs goal. But imagine if we had Dupree and Sahile and Ranga, and Sahile could do that. But Sahile only has one mind. It's like watching Usikhota. And what worries me is that sometimes when it's like this, you realize, Guti, Usaile, they're going to lose him. And he's probably a very quality player if he has the right coaching. And now he just doesn't look like he's doing the right things. But you can tell, Guti, he has the speed. He can handle the ball, etc. But today, Usaile didn't even have a shot at goal. Today, Unqobo, number 10 wethu, I don't remember him having a shot at goal. Today, our only Mdu was really doing something. Oh, Ranga, no shots. That is a problem, guys. We can't have our strike force not shooting, guys. That is a problem. And then another thing I want to say, guys, which I'm worried about is set pieces, guys. We have twin towers in set. Like, one thing we can say, no matter who you are, you may not like Stuart Baxter, or you may have problems with the Stuart Baxter. But Stuart Baxter made sure that he trains set pieces in both in defense and in attack. So Stuart Baxter always used to come up with ways to score a set piece. But Tina, we don't have. It's like on the day when we were doing when Unqobo and Umtu were doing Amakhosi, it felt very unplanned. It felt like sizokhaba nje, and then maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe someone will, and I found that was a problem because if we have such tall players in the box, we have Hlanti, we have Ranga, we have Ditlokwe, Hlanti, Ranga, Ditlokwe. Hey guys, we have Castillo also there who has a bit of height, not the tallest, but we have tall players. We need to take advantage of this. But it feels like we didn't. And I feel like things like that, not being told or coached, is a problem. Why aren't we training set pieces? We need to score from set pieces, guys. This is modern football. It's not old football. We have to score from our set piece. If by hook or crook, we have to try get a goal every 2 games from a set piece. So I don't understand what's happening there. So the game for me, this is the question I have to ask you, Amakhosi Network. The question I have to ask you. And I've been asking this question to myself the whole week when I was building myself to this game. I said, guys, if we don't beat Chippa United, kahle, who are we planning to beat? Mina ngifuna ukwazi, I want to know. Like, tell me, explain to me, guys. Maybe I am the stupid one. If we can't beat Chippa United, who are we going to beat? Yes, Chiefs started with a draw. It's not the worst result, but Chippa, we had to do 3 points. You need to sometimes also use your math in soccer. Say, guys, we needed to win the Chippa game because we're going to play Sundowns. If we're going to play Sundowns, we are playing Sundowns too early as Kaizer Chiefs. So let's get 3 points from Chippa because Sundowns is too early. Because, guys, let's be honest, when Sundowns comes, I like how our defense is strong and stuff like that, but if we're not a threat going forward, it means Sundowns is gonna hold a possession maybe 80%, like Barcelona. When you watch Barcelona playing teams, where Barcelona has hit 80% position against Real Madrid at their best. So it's gonna be a game like that where Sundowns is gonna have more of the position, they're gonna have more of the chances, and Chiefs is gonna try play on counters. But on counters, it doesn't help us if we are not finding the right passes and making the right and having the right people on the field. So Abonseki need to figure out the starting lineup. The Usaile would have been better coming on in second half when the defenders were tired. But now in the second half, Usaile is tired, the defenders are tired, so they cancel each other out. So it's things like that. It feels like our planning is off. And I'm not a coach. I don't have a license. I may be talking nonsense to some of you, etc. But I don't think it's good. I think our movement is bad. I think our movement is bad. I think we don't press the defense. We saw Gutabo, Shabalala, and everyone by a Titizela there at the back, but we don't press them. Why? Why don't we press them? The only person who's pressing them is Orang. But then, Badalo, you know, when you play Kasi, Santini, La Pecas, they badlala ngomuntu oppressayo if his team doesn't press. So no pressure, but asihlale naye, yeah, agijima. Then you busy running in triangles lapha, trying to get the ball, but your teammates aren't supporting you. That is what happened with Uranga. Uranga is closing down this player, then they go back to that player he finished closing down, but no one is backtracking that player. And the moment we did that in the first half, we got a chance. Because that's the thing I'm saying. Castillo does that, but he can't do that the whole game because he can't push up that far. But when Castillo did it that one moment, we got a chance where to shot and missed. So I don't know why we don't press. We were meant to press this game, we didn't press. So it was just not a good game. I want to say not a good game because we didn't create. Like, if you're not creating chances, then it's not a good game. You are Kaizer Chiefs. You're not, I don't know what, but you are Kaizer Chiefs. You need to create chances. So we didn't create chances. We were just good in defense, and Chippa wasn't even good. Like today, we made even Chippa look like they are a good team. No, Chippa is not even a good team. Like, I don't care what no one says, but Chippa didn't do anything that scared me today. Like, no, Chippa did nothing that scared me. I was watching Chippa, and I was like these guys, they look like the team that will score in this game, but they don't know, they're not doing anything. Angazi, guys, like whoever was watching this game, tell me if I'm wrong, but Ichipa did nothing in this game. Like, but anyway, guys, tell me what you think of the game. What do you think of the coaching? What do you think that Chippa had more shots on target than Kaizer Chiefs? I want to see those stats at the end of the game because it was poor. Chippa had more shots than Chiefs. Chippa, like, who are we going to beat? We have not scored in the last 3 games of preseason. No goal. Guys, what's happening? We need a striker coach with immediate effect. We need a striker coach. But even a striker coach is not going to help that we're not creating for the strikers. So we have issues, guys. We have issues, and it's making me sad and I'm angry at the same time because we have the squad. The squad can do things. Like, we are way better than last season in terms of the squad. Yes, we still need 1 or 2 players and like maybe an additional striker, an additional left back, an additional center back, and even maybe a keeper, even though Peterson has been doing that. The keepers look fine so far. We need that. And when I was watching this game and seeing how much of a flop we were, I remembered, if we had a human, it feels like we were going to have more of a chance to score or something, because I like Tanzania as a player, but Tanzania is not in form. So it's going to take him time to find form. Unkosimpile Ngcobo, I like him, but Unkosimpile Ngcobo is also, he's in better shape, but he's not in form. Like, he hasn't built his form. So that is going to be a problem. And the one thing I want to add with you, one more thing before tomorrow I'll do the ratings of the player. But one thing I want to say is that it's funny how Ngcobo's game is developing. Ngcobo goes from a guy who doesn't recover to a guy who's sitting too deep. And understand, Ngcobo was always closer to the strikers, closer to Abo Billiard, etc., etc. But now his game has changed and he's sitting more deeper. But when he sits deeper, he can't get close to Abo Ranga because he's prioritizing defend. And I don't know, guys. I don't like it. Sometimes we ask for a player to do something, then they do it, and then it sacrifices the thing you like about that player. So tell me what you guys think. I am sad. I'm scared to even watch the Sundowns game. I'm scared. Our kit looks beautiful. Yo, when I saw that kit, I wanted to buy it. But yeah, guys, when the channel gets to about 2K, I will announce a special announcement to those who have subscribed, etc. I'll announce a special announcement. But that is for 2K. I'm going to announce something that I'm planning to do once we get to 10K, but it will involve basically kits. But yeah, guys, tell me what you guys think of the game. Let's chat. Subscribe. Let's chat.